Hi everyone, my name is Sisimo, and today we will have an interview with Ms. Tina Lalisan to help us understand the concept of the 5 different core books in ITIL. So Ms. Tina Lalisan is currently working as a lead developer at NCSI, or the National Computer System Incorporated, that is based on Singapore. Their company was partnered by the Singtel, and she was working in IT industry for almost 16 years, and NCSI is her third company that she's working on. So, hope you watch and enjoy our interview.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Miss Christina. Today we're inducting an interview about the ITIL, mainly about service design, and service transition. If you know about that, right? Okay. The first question is for you, since you're an ITIL certified, right? What is ITIL for you?
Okay. Before I answer that question, I would like to know first what is since this is an elective subject, right? Why did you take up ITIL in the first place?
To be honest, I don't have anything to take, so I decided to take ITIL because some electives have no section, so I have no choice but to take ITIL.
Okay.
That's what I did.
Okay, how about you?
I think I took ITIL because I think it's very significant, especially in the real world, or when we actually get jobs. It defines maybe the workflow of how the projects work. So yeah, I wanted to learn about that. That's why I took ITIL.
Okay. How about you, Jen?
With Reggie, the other elective has no section, so we took IT for additional units.
How about you?
I took ITIL because I wanted to learn how a certain IT company runs, and also I want to align my programming skills with the ITIL foundation books that we are learning in school.
Thanks for that. Now, in your question, what is ITIL?
Yes.
Actually, ITIL, by acronym, is a Information Technology Infrastructure Library. Are you familiar with ISO?
ISO.
No.
International standards.
Yeah.
I'm familiar. I forgot
Okay.
the acronym.
ITIL is a set of standards, but non-specific to organization. Okay? It is set of best practices in delivering a service application, product to the client. Technically, it's not a software development per se. Ito na yung tinatawag na after development support. Ngayon, nakapag-develop na kayo ng system, then you put it into production, what will happen to production will be covered by the application maintenance services. It is where ITIL will take place.
So you said that you said ISO rather, right? Is ISO and ITIL related to each other?
In a way, yes. Ang ISO is stricter one. Meron kasi nag-own sa kanya. May set of standards siya. While ITIL is the best practices compiled. Okay.
So maybe ITIL's technically better something like that?
No, you
So
really
it's
cannot
still-
tell which is better or not. Actually, it will depend upon the organization's practices and vision. Okay. So there is no right or wrong, whatever the organization wish to apply. Because they need to study kung ano yung mag-best fit sa kanila.
So the following question I'll ask is all about the service design. So
Mhm.
how will you define service design?
Okay. ITIL has 5 core functionalities: the service design, the service strategy, the transition, operation, and the continuous service.
Yes.
So focusing now only on the service design.
Yes.
Service design is actually the end-to-end process of the service delivery, of the application, maintenance, service delivery. Okay. Nandiyan yung monitor niyo yung pag-meet ng service level agreement with the client, with the supplier, management of the changes, on the releases, on the product, and the day-to-day na support, customer-facing support. So, yun siya.
So basically, service design is the probably the plan management of the for the company, right? Probably.
We can say that service design is the planned service solution on how things interact with one another to deliver what was agreed with the client. For example, kailangan, kasi ITIL covers the best practices in service application maintenance support. So, pwede kasi application service maintenance support nyo is application lang. Pwede, parang sa mga BPO, yung customer service lang, tapos iba na yung gagawa. Pwede namang end-to-end, like, may application ka na, may hardware ka pa, may customer facing ka pa. So, may mga ganong services yan. Okay. Kung yung service design, for example, doon sa end-to-end, yung kompleto. So, may service desk ka, how long yung needed time na mag-respond ng customer, ng help desk mo doon sa customer? Diba, nag-report sila. Say, 30 minutes, dapat mag-response ka. So, yung mga ganong simpleng process na yun, naka-implement siya doon sa service design nyo. Yun yung process. Halimbawa, may hawak kang server. Kailangan, for example, Facebook. Kailangan 24/7 naka-up siya, di ba? Pero sa backend ninyo, meron mga downtime yan. Minamanage yun ng IT practices. Kasi naka-plan lahat yan. Hindi yan basta i-download or else wala kayong wala ng FB.
Understand that.
So lahat yan plan. Even, for example, si Google. Si Google na lang. Kaya pinapalitan niya minsan yung mga images niya. Important din eh.
Yeah. So,
Ayan.
since for a specific reason.
Yan, nababago yan, di ba?
Yes.
Binabago yan. Sa backend, binamanage yun, hindi yan basta-basta pinapalitan. So may ano yan, may plan yan. Yun yung mga change management plan, yun yung release management plan. Actually, ITIL is just the name, pero kung part ka ng support service, ginagawa mo siya on a daily basis. Actually, I've been in application support for 6 years. On my 5th year, saka lang ako nag-take ng ITIL. Saka ko lang naintindihan yung mga terminologies, pero yun pala, yun yung ginagawa ko talaga ever since. So yun yung service design.
I got it. So since you work as an ITIL professional, right? Certified now. What is the ITIL service design management for you?
ITIL service design management is technically coordinating everything while considering yung smooth delivery on your client as well as less impact on the system. And at the same time, you should also manage yung workload ng tao na they will not suffer in delivering a 24/7 service.
So basically, you want to make some customer to be satisfied with the design, right?
On the customer point of view, okay na sa kanila na deliver mo yung gusto nila. Buhay yung service. Hindi wala nang pakialam si client kung paano nyo din yung deliver on the back end. You should also do that. ITIL covers both the business requirements and the internal requirements ng team.
Okay. What are the keys to have the good quality of service for ITIL, for this company?
Sorry?
What are the keys to have a good quality of service?
You should know, rule of thumb, should understand what the client needs and differentiate it to what client wants. Okay, as part of your service, matutuwasan yung client kung you really have, you will really able to render what they expect.
So what the client expects is what you deliver, right? So
Yes,
they
and
will be
that's the
satisfied.
rule of thumb. You should deliver what they expect, and you should deliver more than what they expect.
Okay. So what does the underpinning contract do for ITIL?
Underpinning means supplier contract. Okay?
Yes.
Halimbawa, may naging project ako na ginamit namin sa Microsoft Dynamics. It is an ERP system. We don't need to develop that kasi time consuming. So we hire a subcontractor to do it for us. Okay? Now when we move into production, we still have this contract with them. Now it is called the underpinning contract. It is a supplier contract. Under it, the SLA with your client should fit also with the SLA of your vendor or your supplier. Kung may SLA ka na 4 hours, dapat ma-restore mo yung system. Sa kanila, dapat 3 hours lang.
So there's a time limit for that. You need
Yun
to
yung
make-
sinasabi kong SLA. Yun yung service level agreement.
That's it.
Yan yung heart ng service delivery nyo.
Mm.
Yan yung nire-render ng, yan yung hinihingi sa inyo ng client nyo. Let's say, kailangan ko buhay yung system 24/7. Kailangan wala siyang downtime. Or kailangan bigyan nyo ako ng mga reports na ganito. So yun yung SLA. Saka yung scope of work. So, it should, your management with your vendor should all included in the underpinning contract or the supplier contract. Huwag kayong matakot sa technical terms.
No,
Just a contract with their vendor.
it's-
Ngari, ang kontrata mo sa client mo, kailangan magkaroon ng bagong server. The client, your vendor will deliver it on agreed timeline. Kung gusto ng client mo na, can you make the new environment up by 2 months? Tapos sabihin sa inyo ng vendor nyo, 3 months lang namin ito mati-deliver. So, delayed ka, di ba? You should manage. It's either ma-manage mo yung vendor mo na paikliin nila, or you will have to agree with your client na kung pwede nito kasi ito yung kaya i-deliver mo sa vendor.
Yes.
So,
So we can ask the questions for
Okay.
next 5 questions.
and thank you for your answers. Good afternoon, Ms. Tina. I am Irvin. And for my first question is, what is service catalog management for you?
Okay, service catalog it has a very many meaning, okay? It has different meaning depending on the organization. For example, sa project ko, we are supporting government application. So, ang laman ng catalog namin is technically the SLAs or the agreed level of services. Like, for example, 24/7 yung support, we can provide the script, we can do, change requests at this period. So, yun yung naman ng project catalog, or nung service catalog. On a bigger project, for example, the Globe Service Desk, the operation managers handles 105 services. Yun yung naman ang catalog niya, yung 105 services niya. Okay? Ano pa bang sample? So actually, it really varies. Kasi kung Microsoft ka, ang laman ng project catalog mo are your products. If you're working for a manpower augmentation, ang naman ng catalog mo is yung skills ng mga tao nyo na ipapa-hire nyo sa kanila. Plus yung amount, mga ganun. So technically, service catalog will depend on the organization and the
On
product.
What they offer.
Yes.
Okay, for my next question is, what are the types of information you would store in the service catalog?
By standard, the services that you offered, for example, NCSA lang kami. We offer IT services, manpower. So, yun yung type of service. So, number 1, type of service. 2, any SLAs or service level agreement. And cost. Pinaka-importante yung cost. Kasi, maliligaw dyan yung kung babasa. So, the purpose of the catalog is as a guideline to your client na hindi na sila problema kung may kailangan pala sila. So, yun na siya.
So do you think, ma'am, that it is integral to have a service catalog or to manage it properly?
If it is on just project level, I don't think it is needed. Kasi there is a separate contract already for the SLA. Pero for example, yung binigay ko kanina like load, yung operation, it is needed. And even for on the organization level, it is also needed.
Thank you. Can you give us an example of a policy in storing information in a
Okay.
service catalog?
In a service catalog, rule of thumb, you should always monitor it on a daily basis. Daily basis meaning, on a regular basis. For example, kung hindi naman fast-paced yung changes nyo sa portfolio nyo, pwede naman karoon ng quarterly, semi-annual or annual monitoring and updating. You need to revisit whether may nabago or wala sa portfolio. And then, if you're in a fast-paced environment, matik na every time na may changes, kailangan i-update siya. And there should be a review. Someone will change, but someone should review. Hindi pwedeng parehong tao.
So service catalog should always be updated.
Yes.
Thank you. For the next question, do you think the database in service catalog must be yearly updated as well?
When you say database, it doesn't just pertain to my database SQL Server. Simple Excel file is already a database. Mostly, sa small companies, they just use the Excel. And it should be updated the same time na nire-review ninyo yung portfolio nyo.
For our next topic, for you, what is service transition?
Service
transition.
transition.
Service transition.
Okay, service transition, it is covering yung change management, release and deployment management, as well as any changes in the environment.
Thank you for your answers. 11.
Good afternoon. My name is Bilal. My question is it necessary for IT service management to make the configuration management available and why?
Yes, it is needed. It is a must because it is where any changes should be monitored. Are you aware what is configuration management?
Yes.
Okay. So any movement, especially on the environment, it should be recorded. It is for it's part of housekeeping and business continuity in case something happened to the yung mga tao mismo, then the environment and the application.
So my next question is, how do you create configuration management?
For us, it's just a simple Excel file. Basta kasulatan lahat ng properties na kailangan i-monitor for the server. Password expiry, for example, or the IP addresses of the server, the load balancer ng server, so lahat yung monitor.
So what are the importance of configuration management?
Like I said earlier, it is for the business continuity of the product.
For you, what is release management?
Release management is managing the changes that you need to implement and deploy to the current service.
Give some difference between release over deployment management.
Actually, that question is
Too broad.
no.
No.
Deployment is under release. Okay? You should ask change management versus release management.
Okay, so
Kasi gato, yung release management, yan yung planning, yan yung testing, at yan yung deployment. Yun yung release management. Under it is the deployment. Now, yung change management, I think dapat yun yung deployment is the actual placing of yung changes nyo doon sa environment or doon sa service. Yung release, yun yung end-to-end na babaguhin ninyo or may babaguhin kayo sa system. Gets ba? Kasi yung release, ang step 1 ng release is the planning. Tapos kasama na dyan yung implementation. Kasi maglalagay lang kayo ng additional button. Implementation. Testing, tapos nyo nang baguhin. May magte-test na ngayon. It can be your team or your client's team, but it should be tested. Then pag pumasa na siya sa testing, andun na ngayon sa deployment. Yun yung buong release. Then after deployment, may tatawag na warranty or the support period. Pag natapos yun, tapos na yung release doon.
Yung mga hawak po ba nun is yung DevOps engineer?
Actually, depende yan sa organization. May organization, for example, Accenture. Talagang by role sila. Pag sinasabi niyo sa ITIL na may configuration manager, merong release manager, may deployment manager, sa mga big companies yan. Sa small companies, yung operation manager, pwede siya yung config manager, siya yung release manager. Pwede yung application dito, siya yung release manager. So it depends upon the organization. Ang sinasabi lang sa ITIL, ito yung mga dapat na role. But it doesn't translate na isang tao lang siya or iba-ibang tao siya.
So, sa example, probably can take many different roles.
Sa small companies, actually, halos lahat siya yun.
For small companies.
Yes, really. There is some. Na ganun.
I see.
Yung sa project na nahawakan ko, this government project, 5 lang kami. And I took several roles.
So, since
Yung ITIL kasi, it's the ideal best practices talaga. Pero hindi nila pina-force kayo na magkaroon talaga ng tao for specific roles.
So, for the next question, I'm Jade Consultant. What is the relationship of it with enterprise release management, the deployment management?
Okay, release management is focusing on one project alone. Enterprise is multiple projects, connected independently with each other. For example, pinaka-common is si Office, Microsoft Office. May changes na halimbawa sila kay Word. For a particular functionality ni Word. So, kinarek lang silang bug. At dineploy nila yan, release management yun. Pero if you deploy it together with other changes, kasi may changes na sa Excel, may changes sa Outlook, pinagsama-sama nyo, it will be an enterprise release. Mas broader si enterprise release kasi you should check individual projects, then synchronize lahat ng activity nila.
So next, how release management works?
Yeah, technically nga, may release planning. You should identify if it's a change request or a big deployment or a big change. Kasi magbabari yan sa planning mo. Okay? Then there will also be after that yung implementation or ano man changes na kailangan gawin. And then there will be a testing phase for the release. Then after that deployment, then warranty.
So next, what are the advantages of being an ITIL certified?
You will just be more aware kung ano yung dapat mong gawin to deliver a good service to your client. Kasi for me, sabi ko nga diba, I worked almost 4 years bago ako nag-ITIL. May mga room for improvements pa pala.
May advantage po ba pag nag-apply mo kami ng job?
Kapag sa AMS project ka. Pero if you will look for a software development work, hindi siya masyadong bumangat. So, if you will apply, let's say, tinatawag na technical support analyst, yan, magmamatter yan. Kaya yun should. Kaya kayo tinanong kayo na, why did you take ITIL? So, yun.
So next, what did ITIL help you do in your field?
It just helped me become more aware of what I should do to deliver a better service.
So last question, what are the things in your ITIL field that benefits you?
Actually, the release management. It helped me to improve more how to control and manage the releases of the project that I handle.
So that's it. Thank you, Miss Tina, for the interview.
Thank you for your time.
Thanks for watching the interview and I hope you've learned a lot.